The science-backed reasons you shouldn't share your goals. "I'm going to write a novel," exclaims the author. To everybody who would listen, I proudly declared. It was November 2021, and I was a wide-eyed college student who had recently found NaNoWriMo, a countrywide annual effort to write 50,000 words in November. The future looked promising. I would make my objectives public, and people were keeping me accountable. Aren't there two crucial factors that will assist us in achieving our objectives? Except I never finished the book. While I did reach the 50,000 word milestone, I abandoned the book while it was still in the early stages of editing. So, what went wrong? According to some study, the open admission of my novel writing aspirations was where I went wrong. So, before you tell everyone about your big dream, consider the scientific reasons why you should keep it to yourself if you want to achieve it. Reason number 1, receiving premature praise for a goal makes follow-through less likely. In one study, law students were asked to complete a questionnaire that assessed their willingness to maximize their educational possibilities. Those whose responses indicated a strong desire to become lawyers were divided into two groups. An experimenter examined each participant's questionnaire and asked them to ensure that the response they marked was the one they intended. The second group, on the other hand, placed their questionnaires in a box and understood that their responses would be kept private. Following that, each group had 45 minutes to concentrate on legal matters. The first group spent less time working on the cases than the second group, whose replies were anonymous. When someone observes your identity objective, the researchers determined that social acknowledgement is a reward that may induce you to lessen your efforts. As a result, the students who responded that they wanted to be attorneys had already established that identity in their minds as a result of the experimenter's acknowledgement of their responses. So if your goal is closely tied to your identity, it might be best to keep it to yourself. Premature praise won't trick you into thinking you've already accomplished your goal this way. Reason number 2, receiving human praise rather than process appreciation may demotivate you. Researchers at Reed College attempted to determine the impact of different sorts of praise on our motivation. A total of 111 college students were divided into 3 groups. Person praise is a type of feedback that is specific to an individual. Praise for the method used, this is praise for the method used. There will be no feedback if there is no praise. After then, each group was given 3 puzzles to solve. Students in the person praise group received written feedback such as excellent after finishing the first 2 puzzles. You must have a natural talent. Excellent was one of the comments given to students in the process praise group. You must be employing some quite efficient tactics. The third group, on the other hand, earned no praise. The third and final challenge was designed to make pupils fail, and all groups received comments that simply stated, "You didn't perform as well on this last one." Following the first 2 puzzles, questionnaire responses revealed that the participants' basic motivation was unaffected. However, following the third failed puzzle, results revealed that person praise was less motivating than process praise across all grade levels. Seniors, in particular, expressed more basic motivation after receiving process praise as opposed to receiving person appreciation or receiving no praise at all. These findings prompted researchers to conclude that process praise appears to be more positively affected by failure than person praise in all age groups beyond preschool. While it's normal for those you care about to compliment you when you announce a goal, a new study reveals that when someone compliments you for an innate quality over which you have little to no control, it's not very useful. Furthermore, it may be less motivating in some situations than receiving no praise at all, especially after a setback. So, if you proclaim that you want to learn official and everyone praises you, such as "Wow, you must be incredibly smart," and then you fail your official test, such setback could demotivate you from achieving your objective. It's more beneficial if people compliment you on your process, such as, "That's awesome that you practice new vocabulary every morning." Reason number 3, if you're a beginner, unfavorable feedback can put you off. Fresh research is being conducted to see how positive and negative feedback affect goal attainment. She and her colleagues discovered Positive feedback that demonstrates devotion to a goal boosts motivation. Positive feedback that indicates progress actually lowers motivation. A math student who receives a good grade on a test is one example given by the researchers. If she interprets that to mean she likes math, she will study more diligently. If she interprets the high score as evidence of progress in the class, she may relax and study less. Fishbach and her colleagues looked at American students in introductory and advanced French lessons to see if this was true. Students in the beginner class were more interested in having a teacher who stressed positive feedback, according to the researchers. Students in the advanced level, on the other hand, were more interested in an instructor who focused on negative feedback. The researchers observed similar effects in a follow-up trial with American participants learning a new skill of typing in German. As the participants progressed, a greater number of them requested unfavorable comments. Researchers discovered that newcomers are concerned with evaluating their dedication to a project, so when they receive good feedback, they are more likely to stay to it. Experts, on the other hand, are focused on their current progress toward a goal. So they're more likely to stick to it when they receive negative feedback. So, if your aim is to complete a marathon and you're an experienced runner, you might want to share your plans with another runner who can provide you with constructive criticism to help you better. If this is your first race, though, you should communicate your goal with someone who can provide you positive comments to motivate you. Reason number 4, holding people accountable does not always work. I'm telling you this so you'll be able to hold me responsible. How many times have you said that after announcing a new goal in public? While conventional wisdom dictates that you find an accountability partner, research reveals that responsibility can, in some situations, detract from your motivation. Furthermore, George Kvetkovich discovered that when participants believed they would have to explain their betting selections to a friend, they remembered judgment policies more accurately than when they were told they would be held accountable by a stranger. So, when does accountability come in handy? When your accountability partner is a friend, perhaps. More than 70% of participants who sent a weekly progress report to a buddy reported successful goal achievement, compared to only 35% of those who kept their objectives to themselves and didn't write them down. Reason number 5, hearing about competition may cause you to withdraw. Have you ever told someone about a major desire you have just to be told that there are a lot of other people striving to do the same thing? While this feedback may be well-intentioned, it may work against you. Researchers discovered that when students feel there is a lot of competition, they will reduce their efforts to win by not losing, according to one study. As a result, it may be wise to keep your daring aim to yourself and enter the tournament unaware of the competition. However, there is one area where competition could help you succeed: exercise. Nearly 800 students were randomly assigned to one of 4 conditions during an 11-week fitness program at the University of Pennsylvania: individual alone, team assistance, individual comparison, and team comparison. What were the outcomes? Those in a competitive environment were 90% more likely to attend exercise sessions than those who were not. If your objective is to get in shape, such as training for a marathon, losing weight, or improving your swimming times, a little friendly competition can help motivate you. So, what should a goal setter do? This isn't a one-size-fits-all solution, like any other piece of advice. We can only go so far with research. But, according to the research, if you're going to discuss your aspirations, do so strategically. Think about how announcing your intentions to someone can affect your chances of accomplishing your goal realistically. While I never followed through on my promise to publish my work despite telling everyone I knew about it, I'm not too disappointed. Since then, I've moved my attention to nonfiction.